Hare Krishna. Welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam uh, class. So today the topics is the overview and essence of the Canto 1 and Section 1 question by the sages. In the first Section 1 there are 6 questions put forward by the sages of Naimisharanya, and it was answered by Sutta Goswami. That then the Srimad Bhagavatam is evolved. It is speaking of Srimad Bhagavatam by Sutta Goswami evolved on the basis of answering these 6 questions. So before we start, let us do the Mangala Acharan. Pray. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritta Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirat Nashtaprayesu Avadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistaki ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुर्निमीलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे। So thank you very much. So today's we will start. We will discuss about the first canto of first section of the first canto, question by the sages. So before that, we would like to say that the Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all the scriptures. Sarva Vedanta Sarva Vedanta Sara hi usyate. All the essence of all Vedanta is Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is said that Sadasevya Srimad Bhagavata Katha Jasya Sravana Matrena Harir Chitam Samsrayat. So by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, which is like a nectar, and the Lord Himself comes and resides in the heart. That is the effect of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, the Srimad Bhagavatam is considered as the most important book and very dear to the Vaishnava. Amalam Purana, the spotless Chaitanya Mahaprabhu certified as Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanyam Amalam, the spotless Puranas. Amalam Puranam Amalam Vaishnavanam Priyam. Jasmin Paramahansam Ekam Amalam Ganam Paramagiyate. This is the most important books of knowledge where he is the nectarian. All the nectar is there. The description of this wonderful pastime of the Lord and his pure devotee has been described in Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is the only way that we can, by hearing only Srimad Bhagavatam, one can easily cross the ocean, the material ocean of existence. Tamayeva devam karuna nidanam सतामोल्लावन्नम स्वीदवतारम अपार संसार समुद्र सेतु भगवत भजमहि भागवत स्वरूपम. The Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. Swarupam, Krishna Swarupa is Bhagavatam. Apara Sansara Samudra Setu. This material ocean is very big. Apara means unfathomable. So to cross this unfathomable ocean, insurmountable ocean, and this Bhagavatam is like breeze actually, and we can cross. That is the importance of Bhagavatam. Therefore, one of the question is that the last question the sages asked that where the dharma resides after Krishna. There is a beautiful verses Prabhupada used to quote 1343 that Krishna Swadhama Upagate Dharma Jnana Adhivisaha Kalo Nashta Drissamesam Puranarka Adhuna Udita. So when Krishna was there, whenever there is Krishna, there is dharma, there is jnana, everything. So when Krishna departed from this material, departed from this material world, and he went back to Goloka, that time along with him, he dharma and jnana also left. So now in Kalo, Nashtadrisham Kalo, in Kali Yuga, blinded without dharma and but Lord is very magnanimous. He left one thing. He left the Srimad Bhagavatam. Purana Arka is like a brilliant sun. Adhuna, the horizon after the Krishna departed. So that it will dissipate the blind ignorance of Kali Yuga. The Kali Yuga is blinded by ignorance. Kalu nashta drishyam, they have lost the eyes because of there is no dharma and jnana. So this Bhagavatam is full of dharma and jnana. Krishna has left this. And this Bhagavatam is completely nectarian pastime. Amrit, nectar. When we get the nectar, then we will become immortal. We will pass this mortal world. We can cross this mortal, become immortal by hearing this Srimad Bhagavatam. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kaviviritam kalmasopaham. All the dirty things will cleansed. Sarvan Mangalam, it is very auspicious. Sarvan Mangalam Srimad Atatam Bhuri Gnanti Bhurida Janaha. Those who are, it is very auspicious, and those who are devotees, pure devotee of the Lord, they distribute this nectar by speaking, glorifying this Lord activities. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam. This is the amrita for this age people, for the, in this age, Kali, this age of Kali, where people are very tormented by scorching sun of Kali. By this hearing Bhagavatam, they will get the respite, they will get the relaxation, they will get the they will get out from this material suffering. So it is said that jasyang jasya bhai sruyamanayam Krishna parama purushe bhakti ratpadayate punsam soko moho bhaya upaya. All the soko, lamentation, bhaya, fear, moho, illusion, this will be dissipated, and bhakti also will sprout up when jasya bhai sruyamanayam, by hearing this Srimad. Because this anartha is actually superfluous to us. Anartha upasamam sakyat bhakti yoga dakya. अज्ञात विद्यम अज्ञात लोकम अज्ञात लोकस्य अज्ञात विद्वान चक्र सत्तत्व संहिता. Because people do not know that this anartha can be mitigated by the bhakti yoga process. Therefore, this Vasudev has compiled this Bhagavatam, is full of bhakti, so that people hear this bhakti and they will get out from the material suffering. That is whole. This is important of Bhagavatam. In very starting of Bhagavatam, even this section 1 also, the first three verses, the prelude to these 6 questions raised by the sages. These 3 verses are so important. And the second verse is that Dharma projita kaitava atra nirmassara atra param nirmassaranam satyam. This Bhagavatam is just kicked out all this material motivated dharma. It is a pure dharma, without any contamination, without any adulterations. Dharma projita kaitava. All cheating dharma has been rejected. Dharma projita kaitava atra param nirmassaranam satam. A priest propound the highest truth. And it is hard by the it is meant for the nirmassaranam satam, those who are free of envious, they are pure, 100% pure. For them, this Srimad Bhagavatam Maha, and it is said that Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu Sivadam Tapatroya Mulanam. It is Vedyam, reality. It's not relative to the absolute truth, it's reality. It is not poverty, it is not illusion, it's a reality. So it is propound the absolute truth, real truth. And Shivadam Tapatroyam, all the 3 kind of misery, Adhyatmika Adi, Bhautika Adi, that will be totally rooted out is by just hearing this Bhagavatam. That is the potency, that is an immense effect of this Srimad Bhagavatam, full of nectarian description of the wonderful pastime of the Lord, transcendental pastime of the Lord. Then it is stated that Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Kirte Kimba Parerishwar Sadhya Hudaye Avaruddhate Kritivi Susrivi Tatakyanat. There is no need of any other scripture. By hearing this Srimad Bhagavatam alone is sufficient. Sadhya Hudaya Avaruddhate Kritivi Susrivi, by glorifying it, by chanting it, and by hearing this Susrivi Tatakyanat, Sadhya Hudaya Avaruddhate, Krishna comes and compacted. Compacted means just close the door. Come and close the door of the heart. He compacted in our heart. That is the effect of Srimad Bhagavatam. Effect and importance of Srimad Bhagavatam. Nigama kalpataru galitam palam sukhamukad amrita dharma samjutam. Sukhamukad amrita dharma samjutam pivatam amrita dharma. It is coming as a nectar. It is coming out from the Sukadev Goswami. Pivatam rasamalayam, pivatam bhagavatam rasamalayam, muhu ahu bhuvi, muhu ahu rasika bhuvi bhavuka. This is the Nigama Kalpataru, Nigama Kal Dijatri. Nigama Kalpataru, Veda is Nigama Kalpataru. Nigama Kalpataru in Veda is like a Dijatri. If you want to become Indra, you want to become Brahma, you want to become a rich, everything answer has been given in the form of a fruits. But Srimad Bhagavatam is a matured fruit, ripened fruit. If somebody wants to go back to Godhead, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. If somebody wants to develop the love for Krishna, Supreme Lord, then that is Srimad, this fruit is Srimad Bhagavatam. And that is a juicy, so ripened that it is drink, you drink, rasamalayam, full of juice. And it is also, it is already touched by the parrot, just like a fruit is touched by the parrot ripened. It is, taste is, is multiplied, magnified. Similarly, this Bhagavatam, it is more realizable if it is coming out from the pure devotee like Sukadev Goswami. So it is more realizable because it is coming out, emanating from, spoken by the Sukadev Goswami, the exalted devotees. So this is the importance of Bhagavatam. The highest Purana, this one is. It is say that Jatha, Nimna Gamini, Nimna Gamanam Jatha Ganga, Devanam Jatha Chutya, Vaisnavanam Jatha Sambhu, Puranam Idam Jatha. Out of all this, like Ganges water, the Ganga river is the highest of all river, and the Lord Shiva is the topmost Vaishnavas, and out of all the Kesava were the topmost. So similarly here, this Purana is the topmost Purana. This is the topmost Purana of everything. So there are so many other verses that glorify the Srimad Bhagavatam. In Bhagavatam itself, in 12, 13, 14, or we can go 15, 16, 17, 18, all these things. So we will start this section, instead of going, there are 27 verses, we go to essence of all, the overview of all this section, that is the question by the sages. And before that we will go through the prelude, 3 verses, prelude of this. The 3 verses are very, very important. The very first verse, I can show you that it is said that very first verse of the, so it is, yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadesya Jatanvyatitaratasya Charthesu Abhigya Swarat Tena Brahma Hudaya Tena Brahma Hudaya Adhikabhya. You can see here. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadesya Jatanvyatitaratasya Charthesu Abhigya Swarat Tena Brahma Hudaya Adhikabhya Muhyanti Yat Suryaya Teja Varimrdam Jatha Vinimoyo Yatra Trisanga Misra Dhamna Seno Dhamna Seno Sada Nirasta Kukam Satyam Paramadimahi. So it is a beautiful verses. The first verse is starting with, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So it is starting with surrendering to the Vasudeva. Here it is Vasudev doing the auspicious invocation by first of all surrendering to the Lord. Bhagavatam starts with surrendering. Bhagavad Gita ends with surrendering. Sarva dharman parityada mamekam. Bhagavatam starts with surrendering to that absolute truth, that Krishna. Who is that absolute truth? Vasudeva. Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. The son of Vasudeva. Vasudeva is called Vasudeva. Who is that supreme absolute truth? That is Krishna. So starting with the surrendering to the Supreme Lord. O my Lord Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, all pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisance unto the personality of Godhead. You can see here that you can see here that it is said that O my Lord Krishna, son of Vasudeva, all pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisance unto you. I meditate upon the Lord Krishna because he is absolute truth. First of all, it is first. Who is that absolute truth? He is absolute truth. God may be somebody, may be God. He is controller of the God of the particular institution, God of particular house. My husband is God of particular, God of particular department. But here, absolute truth is supreme controller. Supreme controller, that is absolute truth. Is supreme God, supreme Godhead, head of God, supreme God. That is Krishna, absolute truth. So it is, first of all, it is clear in the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. I offer my respectful obeisance unto the Lord Krishna, who is the absolute truth, supreme controller. Mataha parataram nanyan kinchidasti dhananja. There is no truth beyond that. That is Krishna. He is supreme, supreme controller. And the primeval cause of all causes of creation, sustenance, destruction of manifested universe. He is not only the creator, sustenance, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Janmadesya Vayadita Ratasya Janma Adi, creation, destruction, and also sustenance or maintenance. Everything is, he is the cause of all causes, of all things. And he is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations. He is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. He directly is cognizant of this creation's destruction and all, either directly or indirectly. Just like Prabhupada gave an example, the chief engineer. A chief engineer is, although it is carried by the all subordinate engineer, the affair of construction, but the chief engineer is cognizant of the fact, everything what going on. Similarly, all the material affair, universal affair is going on by the different department, demigods like Brahma and Indra, etc. But Lord is directly and indirectly cognizant of the every nook and corner, every affairs of the material universe. Therefore, it is say that Sarthesu Abhigya Swarat, he is Abhigya, he is cognizant, and he is Swarat, independent. That is the distinction between a living entity and the God, Supreme God. Living entity is not Abhigya. We know about ourselves. That also we do not know what is going on inside the body. We are not Abhigya. We are not Swarat. We are not also independent. We cannot be independent. We are always under the stringent law of material nature. Sometimes they say, I am God. What God? You are not Abhigya, you are not Swarat. You disqualified very beginning. But Lord is Abhigya and Swarat. He is independent. He can do at his will. He is not obligated. He is not. He is coming to this material world. He is not by obligation, not by his karmic reaction. Namam karmane limpati. He is at his will. He is independent. So that is the qualification of the attribute of the Supreme Lord, Supreme Absolute Truth, that is Lord Krishna. And he is independent because there is no other cause behind him. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sarva Karan Karanam. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sarva Karan Karanam. He is the Sarva Karana, it's cause of all causes. Anadiri Adiri Govindaya Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiri Adiri Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. He is Sarva Karana Karana. So he is the cause of all causes. and it is he only first imparted Vedic knowledge into the heart of Brahmaji, original living being. So he has imparted this Vedic knowledge to heart of Brahmaji. This because Brahmaji is the creator, but he is not the secondary creator. He is not the primary creator, because he is not the primary creator, because he is not the supreme. He is not the supreme, so he is not, because the creation has been given, the art of creation, how to create, it has been given to him. It has been given to, it has been, the knowledge has been imparted to the, imparted to the, to Brahma's heart. By him, even the great sages demigods are placed into illusion, as one is bewildered by the illusory representation of water seen in fire, or land seen on water. So here it is said that even the great demigods, they are placed into illusions. Like even Brahma Vimohan Lila, Brahma also got illusioned when he saw that Lord has been playing with the gopis, Gopo, the cowherd boys, particularly in Madhumangala. When after the Aghasura has been killed, so there was a pastime. Madhumangala bought some, what is that called, buttermilk, and Lord was snatching the buttermilk. Not only snatching, actually Madhumangala was very greedy. He found that Krishna is approaching him, immediately drink all the buttermilk, but he could not swallow it. The chicks become swallowed, because he could not swallow everything. So that time Krishna just pressed this chick, and all this buttermilk came out, and he was drinking that. And by seeing this scene, so Lord Brahma was bewildered how the Supreme Lord, where these, Sadaishara Sampurna, full of opulences of Vaikuntha, there are innumerable servants, the opulences cannot be even described. And that Supreme Lord now, in this way, is eating the remnants of, remnants of this cowherd boys. He was bewildered. So he wanted to taste the Lord. So he stolen all these cowherd boys and took to Brahmaloka. And he came and saw that everybody is still there. And he found out that Lord has expanded his 400 form, Vishnu form, and in every cowherd boys. And he then realized that this Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Then he was giving prayer in 10th canto. You can see all the prayers. So he was also illusion, what to speak about other demigods. Just like, desert, Prabhupada given an example. Sometimes if the water, actually there is no water, but people bewildered there is a water. Particularly the deers and all, they were bewildered by the, there is water. Similarly, even the demigods are bewildered by the Maya. Mama Maya Durata, Krishna's Maya is very, very strong, very, very insurmountable. Only because of him do the material universe temporarily manifested by the reaction of three modes of nature appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him. Lord Krishna is eternally existent in the transcendental abode, which is forever free from illusory representations of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is absolute truth. So here it is Brahma is concluding that this material existence is a poverty reflection. There is no, this is temporary. It's a poverty reflection. It's not reality. But it appears actual because Maya, due to Maya, it is covered us. We feel like it is very real. Everything is going an affair, material affair. But actually, it is a poverty reflection of spiritual world. There is no reality. There is no reality. So here it is said that, but Lord Krishna, he is not under the influence of this unreal thing, an influence of three modes. His abode is Goloko. He is transcendental. He is always there in transcendental abode, eternally existence in transcendental abode. And that absolute truth I meditate. That is the first verse. Prabhupada given a beautiful, purport on this. That how this so big purport Prabhupada has given to explain these verses. Even the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati explained these verses 3 months actually. So whole idea of that Krishna, here it is Lord is the first verse. Lord is Brahma has already, Vasudev has already defined the absolute truth, characteristic of absolute truth, absolute truth. Who is that absolute truth? In second verse, the Dharma Projita Kaitava, as we have already explained, the characteristic of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Third verse is for this devotee who releases this Srimad Bhagavatam, the characteristic of the absolute truth and his representatives. So we can go to the fourth verse, which is actually this sages. Once in a holy place in forest of Naimisharana, great sages headed by say Sonaka assembled to perform a great 1,000-year sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord and his devotee. So here in Naimisharanya forest, I have a great chance. I had a chance fortunate to see the Naimisharanya. I went in 2006 in a pilgrimage to Naimisharanya. So in that Naimisharanya forest, there are the great sages. This happened after the Krishna departed and the beginning of Kali Yuga. So everybody assembled there and they did thousands of years, just before the beginning of Kali Yuga, they did the thousands of years the sacrifice, fire sacrifice for the benefit of human society. They foresaw that the demerits, the debilitating effect of Kali Yuga, the depleting, the deplorable condition of the Kali Yuga. So they have decided to, they are very saintly person are always, paradukha dukhi Vaishnava. So they are always thinking, they are concerned about the welfare of this human society, therefore human welfare. Therefore they were assembled there and doing the sacrifice, fire sacrifice to mitigate this effect of Kali so that people will get the respite because they are always paradukha dukhi. That is the thing, that is always, just like Prabhupada. At the age of 70, he went with a cargo ship voyage. 1 month it took. 2-3 days we fly also, we feel 1 day also we fly, 12 hours, 24 hours, we feel so much jet lag, 2-3 days we just fell flat, we don't do anything, we just have a jet lag. And here is a 70-year-old, a saintly person, went to America with a cargo ship which took him 1 month to reach. And so much of 2 times he was suffered, he succumbed to heart attack 2 times. 2 times he suffered heart attacks. And he was with so much hardship, so much trial, tribulations, no money, 40 rupees of money, $7, that is even not 1 day expenses. And he does not know anybody in America, he doesn't know where to go, the right and left. And that is totally different. This American culture is intellectually, physically, and culturally different from the Prabhupada, where he belongs to traditional sage, saintly person and devotee. But he took the risk because welfare of the people. He wanted to preach this message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Western country, to all the people, so that they will also get benefit, because everybody is suffering due to this ignorance, that they do not know that how to this material existence, the material life is so miserable. Birth and disease always are an inevitable fact. This all this illusion, all this temporary, transient, dukhalayama susatam, the temporary world. This world is very temporary and also troublesome. So he wanted to preach the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu message that how to get out from this material suffering and become happy. People are very much unhappy. In Kali Yuga, people are struggling for existence, and they, out of ignorance, they take it as it is something called very happy. Eh, Dukkham pratikaram sukham manyate grihi. In Bhagavatam 339, it is that dukkham pratikar, to counteract the struggle, to the difficulty things, struggling for existence, struggling to get the square meal, struggling to become, to fulfill the basic necessity, livelihood. They are thinking it is happy. Oh, I get the salary, I am happy. But they do not know the so much misery of birth, principal misery, obnoxious misery of birth, death, disease, old age. also the misery, nefarious misery of adhyatmik, adidaivik, adibhautik, misery by mind, by our body, COVID-19, this 90, so many things, and also by others, and by calamities. In this way, so many way we have been tormented in this material existence. We're suffering. So this saintly person understood our suffering. So they want to give solution. They know, because they know the solution. Then they take the risks of, they are always concerned. Therefore, they take the risks of going. Srila Prabhupada went there and preached. Initial setback, so much he went through, so much hurdle, so much setback, but eventually he came out victorious due to the grace of Krishna, due to his dint of his devotional service, because he's concerned, he doesn't care for his own body. Para dukkha dukkha. It is beautiful verses. I will show you that it is say that, Mahat Bichalam, this the characteristic of this devotee, that Mahat Bichalam Ninnam Grininam Dina Chetasam Nisvesa Bhagavan Kalpate Nanyat Kushit. O my Lord, O great devotee, person like you move from one place to another, not for their own interest, but for the sake of poor-hearted grass, the householder. Otherwise, they have no interest in going from one place to another place. So this is the thing. The great devotee, they move from one place to another. Prabhupada 14 times at the age of 70 plus, 14 times he went around the world, to preach, to encourage the devotees, to encourage the people to take up this Krishna consciousness and become very happy, chant and become happy. Chant the holy name of the Lord and become, to preach them, to elevate their consciousness, to enrich, encourage, enliven their conditions, material condition, enliven their, enliven them. So he went there, he moved there. 14 times he went through whole 40 world. 14 times, at this age. So that is the compassion of the devotees of the Lord. They are always concerned. Para dukkha dukhi. They are not kripana. Kripana means always selfish, self-indulgent, which is 99.99999% at this present 21st century. They are all are self-indulged. They are selfish. They do not concern about others. First of all, they concern about their body, then their children, wife, society, community. They are not concerned about others. So much selfish. But here that is distinct. Even Prahlad Maharaj is another word. Prahlad Maharaj is when he was been asked by the Narsingadev to go back to Krishna. He has been asked to come back to Vaikuntha, but he refused to go to Vaikuntha because he was concerned about the people in this material world. He was asked, Naivadujya Paradurataya Vaitarani, beautiful verse. Tadavirya Gaena Mahamruta Magnachita. Sochitata Vimukha Chetasa, Sochitata Vimukha Chetasa, Indriyartham Maya Sukhaya Bharam Udbhana Vimundhan. So here it is said that O best of great personality, I am not at all afraid of material existence. For whatever I stay, wherever I stay, I am fully absorbed in the thought of your glories and activities. And my concern is only for the fools and rascals who are making elaborate plan for material happiness and maintaining their family, society, country. I am simply concerned with love for them. See, he's telling I am concerned only for the fools and rascals because they are doing so much elaborate plans to make it this Dukhalayam to Sukhalayam, is place of misery. The manufacturer himself is satisfied, is a place of misery, but the foolish materialistic, they want to turn into Sukhalayam. How it is possible? It is impossible. Mogo asa, mogo jnana, mogo asa, mogo karma, mogo jnana vicheti sir. All their hope, all their knowledge, all their plan will be baffled because they are existing in a non-existential platform. Their existence is at stake, is threatened by this material existence, non-existential platform. There is existential disharmony and dilemma. Consequently, all their plans are baffled and going to be baffled. They do not know that their plans for the happiness, maintaining their family, their society, their country, etc. But they have no idea that this all things will be all illusion, will be baffled, because this is all flickering, this is all fleeting, all flying, fading plan, because this whole thing is very much transient, temporary world. Our existence in a very non-existential temporary platform. Therefore, all these things is a waste of time. They have not understood that. Therefore, here it is say, no, no, I will not go, I will not go. Let others go, I don't. And the next verse also he very nicely has spoken that, no, that prayena deva munaya so vimukta kama maunam charanti vijanena parasthanishta naitan vihaya kirpana vimukhasa ekananyam tadasya saranam brahmatta nupasya. He told, he has said that, my dear Narchinda, I see that there are many saintly persons indeed, but they are interested only in their own deliverance, not caring for the big cities and town. They go to Himalayas or the forest to meditate with vows of silence, Maunabharta. They are not interested in delivering others. As for me, however, I do not wish to be liberated alone, living inside all these poor fools and rascals. I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of a lotus feet, one cannot be happy. Therefore, I wish to bring them back to shelter lotus feet. Because everybody wants happiness. That is underlying factor. Underlying factor. This everybody wants to be happiness, because we are constitutionally Sachidananda. We are parcel of the Lord, and Lord is Sachidananda Vigraha, full of bliss. We want also bliss, we want happiness. So all our activity due to happiness. But that happiness is threatened due to material existence. So here it is saying that, no, I cannot. Many people they know the fact, but they want their own vimukta, own liberation. They do not want to help others, so they go to Himalayan forest. But I am not. I want to help them. That is Vaishnava. That is the perfect Vaishnava. That is Srila Prabhupada. He was in Vrindavan, he was in Radha Damodar. He could have he is liberated actually. He was there giving classes, he was engaged in the service of the Lord, always writing the books, compiling. He could have, could not have come to America undergoing all the trials and tribulation. He was very happy, and very environment also so conducive, Vrindavan environment. Radha Damodar temple is the epicenter of Vrindavan. But he came out from Vrindavan to give Vrindavan to everyone. That Vrindavan means what? Where there is Krishna, there is Vrindavan. So to give the Krishna, he came out from the Vrindavan to distribute Krishna Prema, Krishna name. So here it is, because only by taking shelter of the Krishna name, Krishna lotus feet, one can be happy. All others plan for happiness in this material existence will be baffled, because it is not the proper way, it's the incorrect way to become happy. There is no question of happiness in the material existence. Material existence is like a jail, just like a prisoner who transgresses the law of land, and he was sent back to the prison house for the punishment. It is not for happiness. It is not, prison house is not, jail is not for happiness. Because you are getting a free accommodation and free food, that doesn't mean that it is a place of happiness. No, there's so much punishment is there. There's so much hard work is there, entitled to punish, because there's a reformation. Therefore, the reformation process through the punishment. So therefore, this material existence is a punishment for the soul who has estranged, being rebellious, who has come out from the Lord, who have defied the supremacy of the Lord, who want to imitate the Lord, defied the supremacy of the Lord. Who have transgressed the law of God, they have come to this material prison house, and we are suffering. The living entity, the conditioned soul, being fighting or being rebellious with the Lord, they have come here. And Lord is very magnanimous, being an affectionate Father. He wants to reconcile, despite our adamant not to reconcile, despite our tenacious determination to stay in this material home, without knowing the fact that the death will rudely reject us from this material existence. So-called determination will fail inevitably. They have no idea. Therefore, The Lord comes down. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhithanam adharmasya tadatma sudha paritranaya sadhuna vinasa. To reclaim the conditioned soul, reviving their Krishna consciousness, they come down, they send this representative like Srila Prabhupada, Prahlad Maharaj, Sukadev Goswami. They all are sent representative of the Lord to reclaim the conditioned soul. And he also gives this Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Mahamuni Kirte, this the Brahma Sutra or Vedanta Sutra, the Srimad Bhagavatam is Mahamuni Kirte, is empowered incarnation of the Lord. Vyasadeva is a Saktavesa avatar, empowered incarnation of the Lord. So Lord comes and compile Vedanta Krit Vedavid Chaham. He is the compiler of Vedanta. Because Maya Mugdha Jivera Nahi Swartha Krishna Gana. We are so much illusioned, we are so much captivated by the Maya that we do not have our own capacity to understand, to have a knowledge of Krishna. Swartha Krishna Gana. Jivera Dayara Hetu Krishna Korilo Veda Purana. To become, what do we say, compassionate, due to the compassion, magnanimity, his magnanimity, due to his magnanimity, compassionate nature towards the living entity, the suffering living entity, conditioned living entity, Krishna compiled all this Veda Purana so that we will get the benefit. By hearing that, we can go back to Godhead. We will rectify, we will purify ourselves, and we will go back home, again back to his shelter, back to his service, go back home, back to Godhead. That is the duty, prime duty of the living entity. And this is the point, that is the underlying point, that is the aim of all the scriptures. To address this issue, that how to bring this conditioned soul back to unconditioning stage, back to shelter of the Krishna, back to Goloko. That is whole idea. So, therefore, this Naimisarana and the sages, they are thinking, they are concerned about this welfare, the activities of everyone. So, we will go back to the verse 114. So, we will just go through the essence of this verse. 27 verses are there. So, the first, so the next, in the forest of Naimisaranya, it is said in Prabhupada said that in this Naimisaranya, it is a Bhara Purana, it is stated that performance of sacrifice at this place, the strength of demoniac people is curtailed. So where it is stated that by performance of sacrifice at this place, when you perform the sacrifice in Naimisaranya, so all this demoniac propensity, Kali Yuga is all the people are demoniac propensity, that will be curtailed, that will be reduced. Therefore, these sages of Naimisaranya, they are performing the 1000 year of the sacrifice Yajna, just to curtail the demoniac propensity of the living entity of Kali Yuga in this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, in the age of dissension, in the age of debilitation, the age of depletion, age of dissension, discordance, dissatisfactions, age of deplorable condition, everybody deplorable condition, abominable age, inauspicious age, unfortunate age. So here Prabhupada has given devotee of Lord Vishnu for all kind of sacrifice for his pleasure. Devotee are always attached to service, whereas fallen soul are attached to pleasure of material existence. So the great sages are always anxious to do good to people in general. As such, sages said Sonak other assembled at this holy place. The program of performing a great and continuous chain of sacrificial ceremony. Forgetful men do not know the right path for peace and prosperity. However, sages know it well. See, they know it well, because we have forgotten the path of peace and prosperity. Therefore, for the good of all men, they are always anxious to perform acts which may bring about peace in the world. They are the sincere friend to all living entity and risk great personal inconvenience. They are always engaged in the service of the Lord for the good of all the people. See, it is to say that how they are so much anxious for the good of the people. They take all the risks, just like Prabhupada took the risk of going to America in a passenger voice freighter, in a passenger voice, cargo ship. and started this movement, and reclaim all the conditioned souls. How much people are getting benefit in the world because of Prabhupada, magnanimity, his compassion, outstanding contribution, unparalleled. So in the next verse, it is said that one day after finishing morning duty by burning sacrificial fire, offering a seat of esteem to Srila Sutta Goswami, the great sage made inquiry with great respect about the following matter. The Sutta Goswami, Sri Sutta Goswami, when Sukadev Goswami, here it is Prabhupada written, when Vasudev impregnated the message of Bhagavatam to Sukadev Goswami. Srila Vasudev impregnated to the Sukadev Goswami, and Sutta Goswami heard it from Suka Goswami. During this, when Parikit Maharaj was about to die, within 7 days, Sukadev Goswami came to the bank of Ganges and he was delivering the Srimad Bhagavatam. So that time Sutta Goswami was present and he heard this news, he heard about this, he heard the Bhagavatam. So all bona fide, Prabhupada written that all bona fide representative of Srila Vasudev in the chain of disciplic succession are to be understood to be Goswami. So here, um, it is said that this all the sages, they have offered a seat of esteem Sutta Goswami because he is Srila Sutta Goswami, because he has heard this message from the bona fide chain of disciplic succession from the Sukadev Goswami. Therefore, he is the real representative, bona fide representative. Thus, the sages in Naimisaranya has offered a seat to the Sutta Goswami and submissively asked. It's not like challenging it. Tadvidi pranipatena. Pranipata is very important. If you want to learn from somebody, first thing is the surrender. Pranipata, submissiveness. First you submit. You cannot go and challenge and I want to hear, or force them to know I want to hear by force. No. You have to pranipatena paripreshena sevaya upadekyanti jnanam. Upadekyanti te jnanam. Ganinam tatadarshina. So we have to first of all three things: submit, submission, pranipata, surrender. Then you ask the question, then you render service. In three ways we can receive the knowledge from the Tattvadarshi, those who are enlightened soul. So therefore these Naimisarana sages, they are, with submissively they are asking the question to the Sutta Goswami. So here it is said that respected Sutta Goswami, you are completely free from all vice. You are well versed in all all scriptures famous for religious life in the Purana and history as well. So you have gone through them under proper guidance and also explained them. So here, this is the those who are representative of Vasudev, they are free from vices. There are 4 vices has been described in the scripture. That is illicit connection with women and animal slaughter, intoxication, speculative gambling, of all sorts. Goswami must be free from all these vices. Then only he can dare to sit on the Vyasasana. There is no Vyasasana is not a cheap thing that any Tom, Dick, and Harry can sit and speak. No, it is for those who are free from all the vices, spotless character. So therefore they are appointing Sutta Goswami to sit on the Vyasasana and speak the Srimad Bhagavatam. Being the eldest learned Vedanta of Sutta Goswami, you are acquainted with knowledge of Vasudev, who is incarnation of Godhead. So Vasudev is an incarnation. It is here, it is said that Bhagavan Vadarayana, Bhagavan is incarnation of the, he is incarnate. Krishna himself comes, because as I told you that the living entity has no knowledge. By himself they cannot liberate it. They are urubandi, they are bound by these modes of material nature. They are bound by the captivation of Maya. Therefore, they cannot release themselves. So only a liberated person, can do that. Only Lord comes himself as an empowered incarnation to compile this all the Veda, Purana, the Bhagavatam, so that by we can get out from this, we will have a knowledge to get out from this material existence. So here it is, because you are submissive, your spiritual master have endowed you with all favor bestowed upon a gentle disciple. Therefore, you can tell us all that you have scientifically learned from them. Very important point here that Prabhupada explained the spiritual secret of success in spiritual life is satisfying spiritual master. They are therefore getting his sincere blessings. Rabbi Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur has sung the famous 8th stanza on the spiritual master as follows: I offer my respectful obeisance unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master. Only by his satisfaction can one please the personality of Godhead. When he is dissatisfied, there is only havoc on the path of spiritual realization. So it is essential, therefore, that a disciple be very much obedient and submissive to bona fide spiritual master. See, very important. Jasya prasada bhagavad prasada, jasya prasada nagati kuttapi. So this is the 8th stanza of Gauravastakam, where it is said that Jasya prasada bhagavad prasada, jasya prasadam nagati. If you satisfaction of spiritual master means satisfaction of the Lord, you can satisfy the Lord. If spiritual master is dissatisfied, jasya prasadana gati kuttapi, there is no way that you reach the destination. There is no way that you get the mercy of Krishna. You dissatisfy the Lord himself. So that is very, very important. Therefore, Sutta Goswami has fulfilled all qualification as a disciple, as a proper representative of this spiritual master, being submissive, being, um, uh, uh, being submissive to the, being satisfied the spiritual master. So therefore, they are anxious to hear from him. So the next verse it is there. So therefore, being blessed with many years, explain to us in an easily understandable way what you have ascertained to be absolute and ultimate good for the people in general. This is the first question they are asking, that what is the ultimate good for the people in general. This first question has been raised. There are 6 questions. The first question: what is the ultimate good for the people in general? Because you have been blessed many years, and you explain us very understandable way. This is the first question has been asked. And this all learned one in this iron is Kali, main among the beautiful verses. You should remember this word. Praenal payusha sabhya kalu asmin yuge jana manda sumanda mataya manda bhagyahi padrika. So this verse should be remembered. Prabhupada used very frequently. O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men almost always have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. See, this is symptoms of Kali Yuga, that people have short lives. People not living. Nowadays, COVID has come, that is accelerating the death. So, these very lives of the people are very short. And everybody quarrelsome. For a little bit of provocation, there is a big misunderstanding, big quarrel. People are pugnacious, cantankerous. People are, very quarrelsome. Very quarrelsome. And lazy also, very lazy. There's too much laziness. They do not want to do very manda, very manda. Sumanda, if they are not lazy, they are misguided by others. Unlucky, very unfortunate, even for the, struggle for existence, they are always unfortunate and always disturbed because of this struggle for existence. They are very disturbed. They are always this when sages of Naimisarana actually analyze the state of affairs in the age of Kali, which is very debilitating, very deploring, very depleting, very disappointing, very distasteful, very inauspicious, very abominable, very abhorrent, very obnoxious, very notorious, very nefarious. So here they have analyzed this affairs of Kali Yuga. They say that duration life is certain because insufficient food, because of irregular habit. People are having so much irregular ability. So therefore they have the vitality, duration of life is certain. and people are very lazy, not only materially but matter of self-realization, both way, either materially or matter of self-realization they are very, especially human life is meant for self-realization, but men should not know, um, uh, because by this self-realization, a human life, the human form of life, the living entity can end all the miseries of the hard struggle for life in the material existence, hard struggle for life. One can return to Godhead, that eternal home. But due to bad system of education, they have been so much sumanda mata, they have been misdirected. This whole system of education means for the sense gratification, not for the get out from this material existence. They are victim of misguided teacher. Not only that, political creates also many different sense gratificatory diversion. There are so much diversion is there, not only because of political party and creeds, but also cinema, sports, gambling, clubs, mundane activities, library, association, smoking, drinking, cheating, chatting, flittering, what is that? Flippering, bickering, tittle, tattle, chit chat, all these things, and this the mind's always disturbed, full of anxiety, so many different engagement, you know, own not based on reverse. The very often people are addicted to sense gratification, attracted to such institutions. Consequently, name of religion, so many sinful acts being carried away by the people, neither peace of mind nor health of body. So all the thing Grahastha ashrama, the Varnashrama system which is meant to elevate, that also very much disturbed, that also very much contaminated. And so in this way, the state of affairs in Kali Yuga is very, very debilitating. Therefore, through entangling, very entanglement, full of mess, mismatch. So to disentangle from all the fallen soul, then Naimasarana says they are very anxious to disentangle all the fallen soul. They are seeking remedy from the Sutta Goswami. So what is the remedy for that? So they are asking this question, what is the remedy for, what is the cure? So here it is said that there are many varieties of scripture. In all of them, there are many prescribed duty, which can be learned only after many years of study in their various divisions. Therefore, O says, please select the essence of all scripture and explain for the good of all living beings. That by such instruction the heart may be um, fully satisfied. Because any kind of, so therefore they are asking, because there are so many scriptures which has been described, there are 6 department of philosophies, they are, so knowledge, but that all the scriptures they are describing so many different duty for the living entity to disentangle from this material existence, from this suffering, from the struggle, hard struggle of struggle in material existence. But it will take time for the particularly these people living entity in the material age of Kali, who are so much having short lives, lazy, misguided, unfortunate, disturbed. For them, a short memory, for them it is not easy. Please tell us something which is very sublime, simple, so that they can get out. So in the next verse, it is said that all blessing upon you, Sutta Goswami, you know the purpose of personality of God had appeared in the womb of Devaki, son of Vasudeva. So they are asking this second question, what is the purpose of, what purpose the personality of God had appeared in the womb of Devaki, the son of Vasudeva? This is the question has been arised by this, why the Lord has to appear in this, what is the, Krishna comes as son of the Devaki. So the next verse it is said that we are eager to learn about the personality of Godhead in His incarnation. Please explain to us the teaching imparted by previous master. So one is uplifted, both speaking them by hearing. So here it is said that we want to learn about the different incarnations. Ramati murti sukalani yamanatishtam nana avataram akarodha bhuvaneshu kintu Krishna soyam samabhavat paramapumanjo govindam adi purusam tamaham bhajami. So there are Ramadi, Krishna has multiple various incarnations. So he comes with various incarnations. So please explain, because there are so many incarnations: Purusha Avatara, Lila Avatara, Saktavesa Avatara, Manavantara Avatara, Juga Avatara. So in the different 6 category of incarnations, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking very elaborately in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is stated to Sanatana Goswami. So there are different incarnations. So by hearing the transcendental message of absolute truth, first condition is that the sincere eager to hear. Just the Masarana says, I got to hear, and I recognize Acharya, then all these things will be mitigated. All we will get the benefit of that. So they want to hear about different incarnation of the Lord. This is their third question. Next question, that the very nice words. Apanna samsritam ghorayan nama vivassaginam tata sadya vimuchyate yad vivati swambhaya. See, this is very important verses again to memorize that apanna samsritam ghoram. Yanama vibhasya ganam, vivasya grinnam. So living being who are entangled in the complicated maze of birth and death can be freed immediately by even unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna, which is fear by fear personified. So here it is said that by Krishna, living entities which are very maced, which are entangled in the complicated maze of this material existence, and and birth and death, that is our main principal misery, obnoxious misery. They can be freed by even unconsciously. Jena nama vivasagrinam. Jena nama vivasagrinam means unconsciousness, even chanting. They can be, which is feared by fear personified. The fear personified is itself is fearing the name, holy name, or the holy name of the Lord, or Lord Himself. Fear personified fears. We fear always fear. Death is fear personified, but death itself is fearing. Madhavayat bhaktavata bhatavayam madhavayat suryam tapati madhavayat indram varsati dahati pavakah madhavayat murtum charati. So out of fear only death comes and takes it all. He is performing his duty. Surya is the sun is rising because of fear of Krishna. So everybody is lokanam lokopalanam adapayat. All this superintendent of supervisor of all the department of universal affairs, they fear up to Brahma also. Brahma also fears. Krishna say in Bhagavatam 11:330. So 11:230. So that everybody is fearing the Lord out of fear. So here say even Bhaya personified fear, because Krishna name is so powerful. And the name of Krishna is as powerful as Krishna himself. Nama Chintamani Krishnasya Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Punna Suddha Nitya Abhinatva Nama Namina. There is no difference between the name of the Krishna and Krishna, because Krishna is an absolute platform. Therefore, the name is most powerful. The Lord has impregnated all his potency in this name. नाम नामाकरी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्ति तत्रापि नियमित स्मरणेन काल एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवान मामापि दुर्दैवमिदिष्टं यः जानुनानो. Lord has impregnated, invested all his potency in this name. So name is also as powerful as the Lord. So therefore the fear personified is fearing the name, even it is unconsciously chanting. So in this age of Kali, there is nothing else. The solution is Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam eva kevalam Kalu naste vanaste vanaste vagatiranyata. In this age of Kali, in this debilitating, deplorable, depleting age of Kali, devastating, very dissatisfying age of Kali, only thing solution is that chanting the holy name. Only method of get the respite is to chanting the holy name of the God. So even though unconsciously by the force of circumstances or unconsciously one chant, just like there is a story in later part of the Bhagavatam, a story of Ajamila, who chanted unconsciously, who chant under the force of circumstances, who chant the name of the Lord Narayana. He got liberated. He escaped from this going to hell by the Jamaduta. So they can free from this birth and death. So this is the beautiful verses. So the next verse here, it is said that Sutta the Great, who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, can at once sanctify those who come in touch with them, whereas water of Ganges can sanctify. Ganges can sanctify only after the prolonged use. This is very nice. Yat pada samsraya sutamunaya paramashana prasammayana sadyap nyanti upasritaha sodhuni apo anusevaya. So here it is said that how association of devotee lavamatra sadhu sangha sarva shastra kahe lavamatra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. Even a lavamatra, 1/11, 1 second divided by 11, that much of time also if we associate with devotees, one can get all the benefit. Even by prolonged use of the Ganges one can purify, but here by simply touch of simply moment touch association with devotee. So that is the glories of the devotee. So devotee association is very indispensable for our spiritual perfection, spiritual advancement, spiritual perfection. Sadhu is most important. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kai. This is spoken by all the revealed scriptures that only Sadhu Sangha is very important. So here he is glorifying the Sutta Goswami that by your contact we are all benefited. So who is there desiring deliverance from the vice of age of quarrel, who is not willing to hear virtuous glories of the Lord? This is very important, virtuous glory. So this Kali Yuga, condemned as due to quarrelsome feature, Kali Yuga is saturated by vicious habit. There is a great fight at slightest misunderstanding, who are engaged in pure devotional service of the Lord, who are without any desire for self-aggrandizement, who are free from offer, effect of fruitive action, dry philosophical speculation, are capable of getting out of the infringement of his complicated age. See? They are only capable of getting out, because these sages who are very much, who engage in pure devotional service without any no name, fame, self-aggrandizement, freed from fruitive action, karma, jnana karma anarvitam, anukullena krishnanushilam bhaktiruttama, anyavilasita sunyam. They are free from all the fruitive thing, all the jnana speculative knowledge, completely take shelter of the Lord. They are only capable of not after the fame, name, money, and all the things. They are only capable of getting out of the living entity from the estrangement of this complicated age. So this is the thing. His transcendental acts are magnificent, gracious, great learned says like Narada sing of them. Please therefore speak to us who are eager to hear about the adventure he performs in his very. This is the third question. They want to hear about the magnificent, gracious act, because Lord is so magnificent, so gracious. Is a wonderful activity, wonderful. Adbhuta karmana. Adbhuta karma. Lord karma is very adbhuta. Adbhuta karma. It is said that dhyanam, kirtanam, sravanam, kirtanam, dhyanam, harir adbhuta karmana. Janma karma gunanam cha tad arthe akhila chestata. Because adbhuta lot activities are so wonderful, so janma karma chame divyam evam jabeti tattva takta deham punar janmanayati. Lord activity is so magnificent, so gracious, that he has come for that actually, to give the graciousness, he has come for that purpose. And anugrahasya bhaktana manusim tanu asritam ajanant manusim tanu asritam bhajate tadriskida. Bhajate tadriskida. 10:33-36 of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that bhajate tadriskida. Yes, Shrutta tat para bhavet. That is whole idea of Krishna descent. Divine descent is the purpose of his magnanimity, unlimited magnanimity, unlimited, unparalleled magnanimity, this gargantuan magnanimity, tremendous magnanimity, and his activities are very magnificent, very adbhuta karma, harer adbhuta karmana. So by these activities he wants to deliver the conditioned soul, so that we will hear and attracted to him, because we are so much attracted to all his maya. So therefore, to divert us from this Maya's attraction from Maya to him. So Lord comes and enacted all this pastime. He lifted the Govardhan, he'll kill all the demons, the extend the loving reciprocation between the gopis, So many way he is coming and enacting so that we will be attracted to the Lord. That is whole idea to revive affectionate Father. He is our affectionate Father. Sruhida Sarvadehinam Sarvabhutanam. He is true friend of everyone. He is way more anxious than we are anxious to go back to him. He is more anxious to bring us back to him. That is Krishna. That is his magnificence. That is his magnanimity. That is the magnanimity of the Lord. Prapanchapi vidambhayatale janatananda. So it is said that prapanchapi. You have nothing to do with material things, but you have come for what? For your come vidambhayat bhutale. In bhutale, in the earth, you have come because janatananda, to give pleasure to revive, to pleasure to living entity, to revive to Krishna consciousness. They are all suffering. Therefore, he is enacted. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam. So this is the thing. So this is the Lord's comes for this purpose. So magnificent, so much so that it is said that aho baki yam sthana kalakutam kamba dayalum rajame aho baki yam. See, Baki, this Putana has come to kill the Lord, but Lord given him, even though he has come to give something, he has smeared the poison in the breast, and Lord, and he wanted to kill the Lord. She wanted to kill the Lord, but Lord took the positive side. Lord took the positive side that at least he has come to give something, even the poison. So he take it that positive side, and because he has come and breastfeeded the Lord, so Lord took the positive side and gave her the status of mother in Goloka Vrindavana. How magnanimous! Kamba Dayalum, Kamba Dayalum Saranam. How great! How magnanimous! This is the end of magnanimous. This pinnacle point of magnanimous. An enemy coming to you to kill, and you are giving them the great position. I mean, that is unheard, unprecedented. That only God can do. That only Krishna can do. That is Supreme Lord, supremely magnanimous. So here, the next verse is, wise Sutta, please narrate to this transcendental pastime of the Supreme Godhead, multi-incarnation, such auspicious adventure, pastime of the Lord Supreme Control performed by his internal power. See, his internal power, his Maya own internal potency. The Lord has multiple potency, broadly category into three: internal, external, and tatastha, marginal potency. So we are all marginal potency, tatastha Shakti. Maya is external potency, and internal potency is the swans, all Vishnu incarnation, his incarnation as a Baraha, Purusha Avatar, Lila Avatar, all this incarnation, Rama, Ramadi Murti Kalani Manathistam, all the avataram the Lord has come to perform the wonderful activities and to attract us and to set example to protect his devotee paritranaya sadhuna vinasaya chiduskitam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami juge juge. So all the incarnation he has come. Incarnation means to descend from this spiritual world. That is incarnation, to reclaim the conditioned soul. He has come. So you describe us. This is the another question has been asked by the sages of Naimisharanya to the Sutta Goswami. So next one is that we never tire. That is very nice. So Bayam tu na viparyam uttama sloke vikrame yasnantam rasa jnanam sadhu sadhu pade pade. So much beautiful. This is the glory of Bhagavatam actually. We never tire of hearing transcendental pastime of the personality of Godhead, who is glorified by the hymns and prayers. Those who have developed the taste of transcendental relationship with him relish hearing of his pastime at every moment. So never tire. This is the symptoms of the good hearing. The person who is a very sincere, anxious to hear, very sincere in hearing, they never tire of hearing the transcendental pastime of the personality of Godhead, which is glorified with hymns and prayers, Uttama Sloko. So Prabhupada said that there is a great difference between a mundane story, fiction, and history and transcendental pastime of the Lord. The history of whole universe contains reference to the pastime of incarnation of the Lord. Ramayana, the Mahabharata, the Purana, their history bygones is recorded in connection with the pastime of this incarnation of the Lord. Therefore, remain fresh even after repeated reading. For example, anyone may read Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam repeatedly throughout the whole life, yet find them in new light of information. Mundane news is static, whereas transcendental news is dynamic. Inasmuch as the spirit is dynamic, matter is static. Those who have developed a taste for understanding transcendental subject matter are never tired of hearing such narration. One quickly satiated by mundane activity, but no one is satiated by transcendental or devotional activity. Uttama Sloka indicates literature which is not meant for nations. Mundane literature is mode of darkness, ignorance. Whereas transcendental literature is quite different. Transcendental literature is above the mode of darkness, and its light becomes more luminous with progressive reading and realization of transcendental subject matter. The so-called liberated person are never satisfied by the repetition of word Aham Brahmasmi. Such artificial realization of Brahman become hackneyed. So to release the real pleasure, they turn to the narration of Srimad Bhagavatam. Those who are not so fortunate turn to altruism, worldly philanthropy. This means Mayavadi philosophy is mundane, whereas philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam is transcendental. Beautiful purport, Prabhupada given. So Lord transcendental pastime is different from the mundane topics, just like a newspaper. If newspaper you read, but yesterday newspaper or 10 days newspaper is stale, you don't want to read, put into the dustbin. It's satiated. But here, Lord is always new, so transcendental pastime is fresh and festival to the mind. So therefore, it is never stale. It is always fresh. 5,000 back Srimad Bhagavad Gita is read. After 5,000 years also it is read. It is still fresh and festival to the mind. But newspaper, even the yesterday newspaper, nobody wants to read. That is the difference in mundane things and transcendental subject matter. Mundane is satisfied, satiated, but transcendental subject matter is not satiated. Therefore, therefore, this activities of the Lord is very, very fresh and festival. Tadaiva ruchiram, very beautiful verses. I will show you here, 12:50. Tad there are beautiful verses that it explain this how Tadaiva ramyam ruchiram navam navam Tadaiva saswan manosa mano mohauchavam Tadaiva sakon nava saswan sosanam ninnam yautnamo sloko jasa anugayate Tadaiva ramyam ruchiram navam navam. It is said that those words describe the glories of all famous personality of Godhead are attractive, releasable, even fresh. Indeed, such words are perpetual festival to the mind. Monochavam. Saswan Manochavam means the perpetual festival to the mind. And dry up Sokonnava Sosonam. Sokonnava Sosonam Ninnam is dry up miseries, material misery. It is not only festival to the mind, it is not only very ramyam, very beautiful, and and ramyam, ruchiram, very tasteful. Very ramyam is attractive, ruchiram is very taste palatable, and navam navam, newer and newer. It is newer and newer. See, that is the tadaiva ramyam ruchiram navam. Your transcendental activities are always near and near fresh, and your is very attractive, very realizable, and it is monochavam, perpetual festival to the mind. That is the transcendental subject matter. Always praise and festival. Always ramya attractive, always realizable. Always new. Navanava, Navanava Rasadamni Uddantam Rantum, Davidi, so Navanava Rasa, Davidi Mamachita Padaravinda, Navanava Rasadamni Uddantam Rantum Asti. See, they are Navanava Rasa, all newer and newer Rasa. More and more progressively read, more and more release, more our progressive self-realization will come out, and we will be releasing more and more. It is tastier. So this is the thing. So we will go to the next verse. So here he is asking that we want to know the transcendental pastime. This is one of the question out of this question has been asked. So we will summarize this question in the end actually. Yeah? Lord Krishna, the personality of God, along with Balaram, prayed like a human being, so mastery, performed many superhuman acts. See, this is here, Prabhupada, very nicely written. Doctrines of anthropomorphism and zoomorphism zoomorphism are never applicable to Sri Krishna, a personality of God. Theory that man becomes God by dint of penance and austerity is very much rampant nowadays, especially in India, since Lord Ram and Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Baba were detected by the sages and said to be personality of God. And as indicated in revealed scripture, many unscrupulous persons have created their own incarnation. The process of concocting an incarnation of God has become an ordinary business, especially in Bengal. Any popular personality with a few traits of mystic power will display some feat of juggler, easily become incarnation of God by popular vote. Sri Krishna was not that type of incarnation. He was actually the personality of God from the very beginning of his appearance. He appeared before his so-called mother as a four-armed fawn. Then at the request of the mother, he became like a human child, at once left for another devotee at Gokula, where he was accepted as son of Nanda Maharaj and Jasoda Mata. Similarly, Baladev, also counterpart of Lord Krishna, was also considered human child, born of another wife of Sri Vasudeva. So, so here Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, he was fortunate to know the transcendental nature of his birth, that will at once liberate eligible to return to King to God. So the birth and death of the Lord Krishna and Balaram is superhuman. It's not like ordinary child. Krishna is not ordinary child. Lord has come in 400 and torn into this second 200, and he was always God. He does not want to become. This incarnation nowadays bring India as a breeding place of incarnation. Everybody wants to incarnate without reference of the scriptures and all. There's no reference of scripture. Here, Krishna has told. Krishna has been here. Krishna has been not only that. Krishna has, when he was very child and 3 days, 4 days child, he killed Putana, the demon. In 6 months, he killed Sakatasura. He killed 1 year Navata. So when you are not that you become a king, become God by austerity penance. God is always God under all circumstances. All circumstances. So he is not to be become God. No, because of material existence, he is under the material nature. No, he is paravaktat. He is not under the. He comes at his own transcendental body. Ajo pisana bhatma, chapter 40 से ajo pisana bhatma ishwaram mutanam san भूतानाम ईश्वर पिशान भूतानाम ईश्वर पिशान अजो पिशन अभ्यात्मा भूतानाम ईश्वर पिशान प्रकृतिम स्वम अधिष्ठाय संभवामि आत्मा माया. Krishna say, my transcendental body never deteriorated. I have come with my transcendental body. Prakritim swam adhisthaya sambhavami atma maya. It is not ordinary body, child. No. This fool, they think that, oh, Krishna is avajananti mama mudhana manusintanu asritam ajananta param mama bhuttam asya. They have no idea. This Lord has come human form. That doesn't mean that he is under the modes of nature, material nature. No, he is always able. Maya dakhyasana prakritim swatesya characharam hetu nanena konteya jagata viparibhuta. The Maya is always, material nature is always under his superintendent, under his direction. He is always subservient. He is always subservient to the Lord. Lord is always transcendental. When he comes, even a child also is transcendental. He enacted, his sword is that, exhibited. No, I am not under the material nature. He sword the 400 form and turned, and he has been transformed to the another devotee. So that is all this wonderful activity, Krishna, Balaram. He appears to be ordinary human being, but it is wonderful. This is wonderful. He is not ordinary. Although comes as a human form, but his activities are wonderful. Adbhuta karmana. Therefore, this very beautiful verses is by, I think it is spoken by the Gajaraj Gajendra. He spoke very nicely that Hari Adbhuta Charitam Hari. Hari is very Adbhuta Charitam. Vanchanti Adbhuta Charitam Sumangalam. Sumangala Samudra Bhagna Gayanti Samudra Bhagna. The devotees, they are always glorify the Adbhuta Charitam. Harir Adbhuta Charitam, the transcendental quality, wonderful quality of the Lord. एकांत नजस्य एकांति नजस्य, वेरी नाइस वर्ड, एकांति नजस्य न कांचन अर्थात वांछन्ति भगवत प्रपन्ना हरिर अद्भुताति चरितम सुमंगलम गायन्ति समुद्र मग्नचितः. So these are the pure devotees, they are always glorified. They are not interested in kanchana artham. They are not interested for only material things. They are always glorifying the Lord's wonderful activities. They are always absorbed in glorifying. So the next one verse is that knowing well that age of Kali has already begun, we are assembled here in the holy place to hear at the great length the transcendental message of God, and in this way to perform sacrifice. So everybody know that in this age is not suitable as was Satya Yuga, Gold Age, and Tretra Yuga, and other ages. So therefore, because in this age the lifetime is very short, not like Kali Yuga. So everybody has assembled here to hear the transcendental knowledge, message of Godhead, and in this way perform sacrifice. So all propose, they know that Kali Yuga has begun. It is not as good as the other Yugas. So they have assembled to receive the transcendental knowledge. So we think that we have made our goodness by will of providence just so that we may accept you as the captain of the ship for those who desire to cross the difficult ocean of Kali, which deteriorates all the good quality of human being. In this Kali was very, very dangerous because it's deteriorate. Kalim Sattva Haram Puspma. It is said that Kalim Sattva Haram Puspumsam. It deteriorates, it plunders away the good quality. If somebody has good quality, that also plundered by the influence of the Kali. Therefore, this age is very, very precarious, very dangerous age, because man have forgotten completely the aim of life. Lifespan is gradually decreased, gradually loss of memory, strain, better quality, everything has been deteriorating. So therefore, they are here, they are very much fortunate that they have made so that they can know what is the solution to get out from this abominable age of Kali. So yes, since Krishna, the absolute truth, the master of mystic power, has departed from his own hour, please tell us to whom religious principle have now gone shelter. See another question. Please tell us to whom the religious principle after Krishna departed. So where this religious principle has been, where the dharma, because it is said in verse 1343, I'll show you that Krishna sodham upagate dharma jnana visa. When Krishna departed and wind up his pastime, Sodhama upagate dharma jnana visaha palau nasta drisamesam puranarka adhuna udita. So see here, Krishna departed his own abode accompanied with religion knowledge. Now in age of Kali, where this religion has taken shelter? That is Srimad Bhagavatam. It is said that Punarka Adhuna, Puranarka Adhuna Uditam. So here the Srimad Bhagavatam it is taken shelter. The answer is Srimad. Later it will be answered as a 1343 that the dharma in this age of Kali is taken shelter in Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore Srimad Bhagavatam is so important because here only we can find the solution how to get out from this entanglement. So the next verse is, I think it is 24 and 25. Sorry. So this is the end of this is 23 verses. Last question is asked that where the religion has taken places. And so custom adhuna pete dharma kam saranam. So the overview essence of that in this age of Kali everything is abominable, everything is very deteriorating, debilitating, depleting, disappointing, everything is disturbing. So in this abominable age of Kali, inauspicious age of Kali, unfortunate age of Kali, so they are how to get out from this entanglement of Kali. So how to disinfect from this influence of Kali. Therefore the sages they are assembled in Naimisaranya. They are appointed Sruta Goswami, who is a bona fide representative of this bona fide representative Vasudev, and in the line of disciplic succession, he heard from the Sukadev Goswami when he was speaking to Parikit Maharaj. So, so they have appointed. They are very eager to hear about the solution, how to get out from this, entanglement. So they are asking, they appointed. They are asking questions, 6 questions that how to get out from this, contaminating influence, the dangerous influence of Kali. This, and they are asking for the benefit of all the people, they are concerned, because by this way the people will come to know that how to get out. Therefore Srimad Bhagavatam is the solution to all these maladies, all these Kali Yuga, the influence, the negative influence of Kali, the inauspicity of Kali can be mitigated, the misery of the Kali can be mitigated by this hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam is such an important book because here it addresses the solution of this all this misery of Kali Yuga, this age of quarrel, age of dissension. So this is the thing. So we can just recap with 6 questions. The 6 questions are like um, so this is question has been asked by the so this question will be answered in the next chapter. That the next chapter, what is the aim of the what is the duty of this human people of Kali living entity in this Kali Yuga, and why this Krishna has taken birth, the Vasudeva and Devaki is take birth from the Vasudeva Devaki, or what the incarnation of the Lord, pastime of the Lord, and where the dharma takes shelter. So these are the question has been asked by the sages of Naimisaranya. It will be later addressed in the next chapter. So we will in next class we will hear the answer of all these questions. So we will stop here. So Bhagavatam is very important. It is very auspicious by hearing Bhagavatam is so auspicious. Sunnatam Sukatha Krishna, Punya Sarvana Kirtana, Hudantastani Abadrani, Budhunati, all our infection in the heart will be clean. And Krishna himself comes and the bhakti will come. And Nityam Bhagavat Seva, Bhagavati Uttama Sloki Bhakti Nahi sticky. So, by regular attendance in the classes on Bhagavatam, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead, which praised with transcendental song, is established as an irrevocable fact. That is the conclusion of that is the statement of Srimad Bhagavatam, that it is the bhakti will establish, Krishna will himself come and cleanse and establish the bhakti in the heart. So this Bhagavatam is very important book of knowledge. Therefore it is says Sadaseva Bhagavata Katha Bhagavatam Katha iti jasya Sravana Matrena, simply by hearing Harim Chitam Samsraya. With Harim Chitam Samsraya. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. All goes to Srimad Bhagavatam. Mantarad Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana ki jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari.